I just wanted to send a quick hello and I love you. Oh, good news. I'm gonna be coming home soon. Yay! Oh, I cannot wait to be done with this babysitting job.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dreamality and welcome to my review of Resident Evil 7. Is this game worth your money? Is it worth your time? Well, here are my quick thoughts. I absolutely love this game. I think if you're a fan of survival horror, this is a no-brainer. Let's begin by having a spoiler-free discussion of that story. You play as Ethan Winters, and your wife Mia, she's been missing for 3 whole years. But you get a tip that she's perfectly well and she wants to meet with you. And let's do the jingle. Like a good husband, Ethan is there.
You travel to Dovey, Louisiana, a place where the missing persons count has been on the rise.
But that doesn't scare off Ethan, and neither does this very creepy, terrifying, abandoned-looking house. And personally, that's where I would have drawn the line. Okay, so the map says it should be right around. Oh my gosh, that's the place? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Sayonara, Mia. It's nice knowing you. Well, unfortunately for Ethan, the place wasn't as abandoned as it looked. And he becomes the prisoner of the Baker family. The poor guy couldn't have ended up in a worse place. The Baker family is terrifying and completely insane. But deep down, I think there's just a bunch of misunderstood sweethearts. As much as Ethan would love to stay and play guest, he's got to escape. While trying to escape and stay alive, you learn more about the characters, you learn about some of the sick and twisted stuff that has happened in that house. And that there's something bigger going on here. But I'm not going to get into what that is because I want you all to play this game. I will say, I think from start to finish, this game told a great story. And there were definitely many moments that surprised me. And I'm not talking about from a plot standpoint, I'm talking more about the fact that they were in a video game. I'm sitting there thinking, wow, this is awesome. Here's a vague example. How Brother Baker dealt with one of the past prisoners. I have to say the voice actors and the writers have done a fantastic job of bringing these characters to life. They are interesting, they are terrifying, they are likable, they are believable, and they are memorable. Of course, the Bakers are awesome, but the one who surprised me here was Ethan himself, the main protagonist. I love that he's just a normal guy, thrown into what some people would call an abnormal situation. Some people. And it's his reaction to the madness around him that makes me like him so much.
We'll talk there.
Hey, wait. You gotta give me your gun.
You must have lost your mind.
Look, officer.
Deputy.
Right. Deputy. Now, do you want to see my name in the obituaries? Or do you want to be a hero and save my life? A fucking pocket knife?
Do I feel bad for him? Sure, but the game must go on. Sorry, Ethan. Now pick up that axe and fight for your life. With that said, let's move on to gameplay. There are 3 difficulty settings in this game. There's easy, normal, and for the brave. And I mean really brave.
Madhouse.
I played normal. On normal, the game took me 10.5 hours to beat. I believe that time is above average. I think the average player can expect anywhere between 7 to 9 hours. One of the main goals of the game is to escape this mansion. Throughout the game you explore, find items, solve puzzles, fight off enemies, and partake in boss battles. The puzzles themselves vary in difficulty and I found them to be pretty fun. I love the moments in this game where I had to find an item to unlock a door, to open the next section of the house. Only problem is that Mr. B or his butterface wife were lurking the halls and they kind of sorta wanted to kill me. In the beginning of the game you have no weapon, but as the game progresses you gain access to more and more. Your inventory space is limited. I faced many difficult decisions when balancing my inventory between weapons, ammunition, health items, and story items. What should I keep and what should I discard? Yeah, I'm gonna have to confiscate this for survival reasons. There are storage crates within save rooms where you can store your items. And you'll never guess what else you can do in these save rooms. You can save your game.
No way.
I really like the addition and the use of the VHS tapes in this game. One, from a story perspective, because they show you what previous prisoners went through. And 2, for the gameplay itself, they gave you a sneak peek of what's in store for you. I have no issues with the controls for combat. I had a lot of fun with the boss battles. I think one in particular was spectacular. It took me many tries and my heart was racing from start to finish every single time. There are these enemies in the game known as the molded. They were a threat in my eyes and scared me at first. But as the game progressed, it just wasn't the case anymore. There are 4 types of molded enemies, 2 of which look exactly the same, and one that is a mini-boss that only shows up when it's not modeling for Sports Illustrated. There were many segments in the final third of this game that relied a little too heavily on the combat for my liking. And I'm not talking about the final boss fights, I'm talking about the final encounters with the molded. All they did was increase the enemy count. They took away the fear and upped the action. And the combat here is good, but it's not spectacular. It felt forced and became predictable. I love the first 2/3 of this game, absolutely amazing. But the last third didn't receive nearly as much attention. The game plays very differently under the Madhouse difficulty, which gives all the more reason to play it a second time. Enemies are a lot faster and harder to kill, items are in different locations, and you only have a limited number of saves. Oh, challenge accepted. Is this game scary? I think so. It does a great job of building the atmosphere and playing tricks on you. There may be some cliche moments in there and predictable scares, but you know what? Playing with headphones on, hearing those footsteps going on around me and talk in the next room. My heart was racing. On multiple occasions, I felt filled with dread. It was terrifying, but amazing. Be ready for those jump scares. The game looks amazing, the game sounds amazing. The animations are so good at times. And the accompanying sound, spectacular. To all be experienced in the first person is icing on the cake. There are many games with gruesome moments, but how real this game looks and sounds at times brings the disturbing factor to a whole nother level. I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but the final third of this game doesn't compare graphically to the rest of the game. It looks ugly at times. How does this game compare to previous Resident Evil games? From a gameplay perspective, the puzzles, the management of the inventory, the molded, those boss fights, it felt like I was playing a first-person Resident Evil. In the closing hours, it did feel like a Resident Evil story. But a lot of what is here is new and it is different. Personally, I love it. Congratulations, you made it to the conclusion. Resident Evil 7 is an amazing game. It's the type of game that excites me for where video games are heading. Experiencing the story and the gameplay and the sound all in the first person was just incredible. I'm gonna be honest with all of you, I love this game. I still wish they spent more time with the final third. For me, this game was worth every penny, and I highly recommend playing it to all of you. Maybe let your neighbors know first. We heard the screams, is your sister okay? I don't have a sister. I hope this review was helpful, I hope it was enjoyable. If you have any specific questions, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Also, I would love to hear what you all think of this game. And as always, thank you for watching.